Desert Elephants by Helen Cowcher. In Mali, West Africa, the last remaining desert elephants follow the longest migration route of any elephant in the world. Their largest circular route is 300 miles long across harsh land just south of the Sahara Desert. When the dry season begins, they start their journey for water. Their lives depend on it. The Dogon, Fulani, and Tuareg peoples live in the same area as the elephants. On market days, people meet up and swap news. A Dogon girl stops to listen to the local desert radio outside the elephant ranger's office. Songs of ancient kingdoms stream out over the airwaves. Now it is February, and far south of Timbuktu, a group of elephants travel under cover of darkness. They are following their path in search of water to drink. No rain has fallen for 4 months, and the smaller pools are drying up. The wise matriarch knows where to go. They reach a small lake hidden within a forest. After they drink and eat, they sleep for a couple of hours in the very early morning. That same morning, tourists come roaring across the sand. Their guide asks a Fulani herdsman, "What news of the elephants? Are they still nearby?" "Oh, yes, all around," he says. The jeep speeds into the forest close to the lake. Too close. Disturbed again. The sudden engine noise frightens the family groups. They trumpet in outrage. The Fulani say that elephants are becoming more aggressive. They worry that someone may get hurt. That night in the forest, all is calm. Tuareg nomads have a saying, "We live with the elephants, and the elephants live with us." It has always been this way. Tala, like the elephants, got water from the small lake among the trees. There is no other water for her to use. She loves to listen to the elephants' conversations in the gentle darkness beneath the stars. One of the Tuareg's dogs likes to scamper back and forth toward the elephants. He is carefully tethered at dusk. Otherwise, he bothers the elephants and puts their whole camp at risk. Many miles to the south, some newcomers have arrived near the desert cliffs. They are not used to life with elephants and have built their home on the pathway that leads to the elephant's doorway. In March, an elephant ranger visits. "It's unsafe for you to stay here," he warns them. "You are blocking the pathway." "But how long has this pathway been here?" "Oh, thousands of years," he says, "even before the great days of the Malayan kingdoms. We didn't know. When will the elephants arrive?" "The elephants will come when the rain begins in June, so there is still time to move." "But where to?" In a nearby village, the chief hears the newcomer's problem and calls a meeting of his elders under the palaver tree. Desert radio plays in the background while the chief declares, "For elephants to follow their destiny, man has to be flexible. Our grandfathers told us that as long as elephants live here, our land will be healthy. We should help to keep the elephant's pathway clear. Shall we give a home to the strangers here?" They hear a traditional saying on their local radio. "We know that each finger of the hand cannot work alone, but when all the fingers come together, our hands can do such work, it will be celebrated from Hombori to Timbuktu." In the sizzling heat of April, an old village house is soon repaired so that the strangers can join the villagers out of harm's way. Time passes. Now, with the fiercest heat of June baking the ground, all the elephants have gathered to drink at the largest lake. The small lakes and pools have dried up, so this is the last place for them to get water before the time comes to march south. Suddenly, the elephants sense rain. From a long way off, their feet pick up seismic waves. Thunder! They make their way toward the water swiftly without stopping. Through the night they go, arriving at dawn where a wall of rock lies ahead and there is only one path, through the desert cliffs, the elephant's doorway. Nothing can stop them now. Beyond, sweet, wet grass scents the air. The elephants reach the flooded grassland and rush to drink. They are so thirsty. Then they plunge in and splash about in the wonderful water and cool themselves in the mud. Back near the desert cliffs, people are happy too. Now that the rainy season has begun, water flows deep in the village well. Yet these villagers know that the precious water will start drying up within a few months. Little by little, dust storms will darken their desert skies. The desert elephants and people live on shifting sands in a fragile land.